Welcome to Fellowship of Geeks. I'm Diane.
And I'm Jim.
What are we looking at today, Jim?
We have the awesomest throwback of throwbacks, latest new edition of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness tabletop RPG game from our friends at Palladium Books.
Well, cowabunga, dude.
Cowabunga indeed, where the Turtles really came into their own after the original comic book. Forget about the cartoon and that movie. The role-playing game, I know so many of my friends that are into Palladium games in particular that their entry level, unlike mine was Riffs, their entry level to role-playing was Ninja Turtles.
I was just going to say that. I have been really surprised in the last couple of years the number of high name in the RPG genre who say their introduction to RPGs was Palladium's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is amazing how many people, it's not Dungeons and Dragons or any of the other ones. I mean, of course, mine was D&D way back in the day before there was a Palladium Books.
Right.
But so many got their start. They were a little older than I was, and they were teenagers when, that role-playing wasn't cool, but the Turtles were cool, especially those that were into the original comic.
Right.
Really got into it, and I think one of the beauties of not only the Palladium system, but Turtles, it really shines in, and I think that some of that greatness is not only Kevin's, but Eric Woodjick's as well, is the martial arts flair and having all those options and martial arts choices where you can really duke it out with, the other mutant animal or, the Foot Clan or Shredder or whatever, and everybody, there's parrying, there's dodging, there's all the different attacks, the different martial arts, the different weapons, and I think it's really where Palladium truly shines.
I think a lot of that also appealed to a group that fantasy and wizards and Lord of the Rings style gaming may not have appealed to them. Like this
absolutely
felt a little more mainstream.
Right.
And so I think that appealed to, as you said, kind of a little bit older crowd, but definitely a crowd that maybe would not have gotten into some of the fantasy role playing that, initiated the genre of role playing. But I think this was huge in where everybody could relate to it.
And the fact that, Palladium, after all these years, has got the license back.
It's so exciting.
And so many different people, artists, Eastman and Laird, the comic book creators have gotten involved, have done artwork. I mean, the cover is just absolutely stellar. And this is the, I hate to say it, the basic book. There were a number of books, and we're going to be looking through all those. So stay tuned if you're looking for one of the others or thinking about picking this up. But I want to get into this one before we sit here and fanboy on it too much more, so you can just see some of the incredible art that's inside. So I'll open up and just look at the inside cover. And that's absolutely incredible. A little cartoony there, but these pictures so much grittier, so definitely appealing to everybody. I love the books that have the color art just inside the cover there. Just an incredible start. There you got your Foot Clanners back here silhouetted. Some really classic art. And you open in, you have the other Strangeness makes an appearance right off the bat with all the different mutant animals. And I think that really appealed to a lot of other people. Maybe Turtles didn't, but mutant animals didn't, because it's not just Ninja Turtles, but Other Strangeness. And I think some of the other animals really appealed to a lot of the fans as well. So, I mean, definitely, this is the Redux edition, written by Eric Woodjick, the late Eric Woodjick. Just an incredible, groundbreaking book. His partnership with Kevin, just unbelievable. And then the work that, Sean Owen Robertson did to help bring this back and really drive it. But I mean, the cover art, Freddie E. Williams. I remember the first time I saw Freddie E. Williams was in a Rift book. He's a famous comic book artist now. Yep, he did that cover. Okay. Yep. So, and so many of these, now, again, famous artists came back and were like, Kevin, we have to do this book. We have to do an artwork. I want to be involved.
There is a separate side story to this that is very much when you're coming up in an industry, making friends, not just connections, but making friends, not burning bridges, keeping those relationships that, I mean, who knew we could come back around this many years later and those people would say, yes, Kevin Sambieta, you are somebody I want to work with again.
Right. And just like, I have to come back. Not I want to, I have to come back unless I want to do artwork. I want to, I want to contribute something to this book, and looking at all the different editions of it and models. And again, it feels insulting. And this is just the basic regular old edition. Wait till you see the others. You haven't seen any of the others, or check these out. Just unbelievable. The artwork, the dedication, the work that went into redoing it, reworking it. Just unbelievable. A true tour de force and showing, some of the finest of Palladium. So all kinds of good stuff in here. The word forward. Eastman and Laird wanting to be in. Again, the artwork is just unbelievable. The throwback, and again, this is one of Eric's finest pieces, and again, where the Palladium system really shines. And I know it was one of the things that always annoyed Kevin when he was playing D&D back in the day was your defense was cooked in. And he's like, when he wrote when Palladium Fantasy and he did some of his own stuff, he's like, no, you should be able to defend yourself. You should be able to parry and dodge and do all those things, and that's where the martial arts version of it, this SDC world, really shines, because I want to parry, I want to thrust, I want to describe what I'm doing, I'm going to do my backflip, and I'm going to kick or swing my sword or whatever, all those different pieces. So I'm going to block with this or that. Just got all our different mutant animals here,
and the excitement to bring back. I certainly did not know the lore that a number of Strangeness animals were unique to the role-playing system, and so weren't included in the cartoons and weren't included in the movies and weren't included because they weren't part of that other IP. And so it's exciting to see them come back in this as a role-playing game, as Palladium IP, to have those additional characters back and those additional
and seeing the turtles. I mean, you got other strangers. You got the turtles flying along here by biplane. I mean, come on, you don't get much stranger than that.
That does seem strange. I don't see a lot of biplanes in New York, but okay.
And yes, we can bleed. And just don't judge a book. Just the artwork and the other things that are in there that Eastman and Laird contributed is just. I mean, if you're a fan of the Turtles, you're a fan of classic artwork. If you're a fan of if you're a fan of the role playing game, this is definitely a must pick up. All kinds of great stuff. And here again, it's such a beautiful book, and I hate to say and this is just the basic regular old edition.
I do think you're right. Like, looking at this art and looking at how vibrant it is and how much, I mean, you're barely halfway through, how much art has been included.
It just jumps off the page. And
we compare really, a lot, and we've talked a lot about other things we've reviewed and unboxed that don't have a lot of artwork in them.
Right, and there's some, I pick up a role-playing book now, and I flip through it. I'm always curious about the system, but I'm like, does it grab me? Does it speak to me? Is there good artwork? And some, it's just panel after panel of text, and I get it. Good art's expensive, but and then I also look back at some of the artists that work for Palladium years and decades ago, and the success that they've gone on to, and the different places they've gone on to from doing that, and getting paid as freelancers, and just going from project to project. And now the ability, and again, another amazing thing about Kevin is the amount of art direction and mentorship he offered so many of these artists is just, I mean, that's just, you're getting paid to do a job, and he is making you better along the way. And it shows, because they go on, not that, role-playing games are the end-all be. I mean, Kevin wanted to be a comic book artist when he started out, and he didn't even know role-playing games barely existed when he was thinking about being.
But you're right, to go on and do Spider-Man, to go on and teach at
some of the art academies, to go on and work in digital art, and for some of the biggest names in the biggest games, is just another testament to how good Palladium's art is, how important that is to the success of it. And speaking of other strangeness,
incoming whimsical
didn't
cat.
come in.
We'll
Whimsical cat. It's going to see if he's going to come back and check out there. But again, you got the different pieces there. I just can't say enough about this book. If you're a fan of the Turtles, if you're a fan of comic art, if you're a fan of Eastman Laird, you want to see that amazing. You get a couple different
modules there.
Couple different modules. The system, and just it's such a beautiful book. The color artwork is just incredible. Some of the some of the black artwork back in the day that comes back. There's my whimsical cat helping us out.
Dear.
And again, some of these pieces here again scream the original comic and also scream some of the original that black clean line art that Palladium and especially to me Riffs is just known for. This is a role playing game and a cool property. Oh, and it's an art book too.
And an art book, absolutely.
Just unbelievable stuff. There, terror bears are hiding out there. Just barely see them in the dark. So, yeah, unbelievable. And then, of course, you get back to the back cover and see the inside there. So that is the redo edition of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the other goodie, and you want to talk about just a beautiful piece. Here's the inside of the GM screen. You're like, big deal, the inside of the GM screen. You can see a nice reflection of the camera up there.
Right? Reflection of you
and our nice ceiling. And hey, look at that, I'm on camera, yay. But adding the slip covers in so that you can slide in your own notes, that's all good and fine. Let's look at the artwork on the outside. So again, there's that amazing cover piece there. Open up from that's what you see on the inside of the cover. And then the back piece with your trans dimensions there, your other strangeness, a rifty kind of feel coming out. And you get to I think that's turtles they're coming out of this hover repulsor vehicle there. You got all your strangeness, other world here. GM screen is really an amazing add-along piece to go with it. So again, fan of comic art, fan of Palladium, fan of the Turtles. This is a must-have for your collection. Absolutely gorgeous book, fun book, nostalgic, bringing back, and again, hopefully a lot of those older players, myself included, will use this to help. If D&D and fantasy and what other else doesn't catch your kiddos' idea. Oh man, the Turtles speaks to a lot of kiddos and a lot of those older graying kiddos now.
That's right.
To introduce their kids and their friends to it. I know our kiddo, he was he heard the Kickstarter was coming out and he's like, we're getting this, right? I was like, of course we're getting it. And so got the basic, but there's some of the other ones just incredible. The attention to detail Palladium put in it. So we'll get on those, but definitely want to check out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness redo edition from Palladium Books. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you check out the book. Let us know what you think about the Turtles. If you like the cartoons, if you like the old movies, the new movies, all the other things that the Turtles are coming out. Tell us, was Turtles your first role-playing game? Maybe it was. So we'd love to hear your experience there and what you love about the Turtles and love about the different artwork. So for Fellowship of Geeks, I'm Jim.
I'm Diane.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below, and thanks for joining us today.